As the debate on benefits from mining oil and gas resources continue in Nigeria, some stakeholders have insisted that it was high time transparency and disclosure are enforced in the administration of the 13% derivation by state governments. To this end, Africa's Center for Energy Policy organized a stakeholders dialogue on policy implementation in the subnational transfer of extractive revenues in Abuja to ensure these revenues are put to good use to the advantage of host communities. Clearview's correspondent brings us detail of the dialogue.
The 13% derivation is paid to oil-producing areas as part of a benefit transfer scheme for the resources extracted from the states. Reportedly, 8 states are currently benefiting from the scheme in Nigeria. Sadly, there has been little or nothing to show for such allocation to benefiting states as agitations for benefits continue among the people directly impacted by oil production. The Executive Director for African Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Bouake, insisted that his dialogue is important for transparency as it would open up revenue sources and spending priorities to interrogation by the citizens on whose behalf the states are doing the spending.
So one of the issues that we've been trying to look at lately has been how resource revenue benefits people. And we do understand that in the Nigerian context, there are allocations that goes to communities and states for the benefits of the people, which essentially is the 13% derivation fund that was set up in the Constitution and has been implemented over the years. We have seen that even though there is that allocation that goes to the states and supposed to benefit communities, particularly those who are impacted, complaints on the ground shows that the resources could be better utilized. So what we've been trying to do is to have this stakeholder engagement on how we improve the architecture of the disbursement and allocation to ensure that we can optimize that revenue for the benefit of the people. Leadership is key in optimizing the resources. The governors who wield so much power would have to then begin to decentralize that power and look at the local administration and how the revenues can actually trickle down to effect change and development.
Ours is skewed in such a way that the federal government is much more powerful than the federative units. And the federative units being the states, on our unfortunate arm, that is the government closest to the people, the local government, is an appendage, a mere appendage of the states. So this is where I hinge the problem is.
Experts and stakeholders present at the dialogue gave their various perspectives with regards to the 13% extractive revenues and the need to work out modalities to ensure that host communities get what is due them.
And yes, these resources are carted away and nothing recorded for the government. Where is it going to? Go to Thailand. Thailand is the third richest 13 producer. Where do they come from? From Nigeria. Go to the show, Bangkok show. You find all our gemstones there. Through which channel? So it's not through corruption channel. So I believe that if we must address all these things, there's a need to really look at the Constitution of Nigeria. There's a need, you understand, for us to look at the Land Use Act. Because the Land Use Act is another serious body. Because a single wake up overnight, if I'm close to a governor and I see gold somewhere, I can just go to the governor and say overriding interest. Overriding interest takes that resource.
And that constitutional problem, as also rightly identified, is the merging of the local government and the state government together. So some governors cannot come to terms with the fact that mineral resources in the states belong to federal government. No, they just can't come to terms with it, even though they know it's a constitutional provision.
In these communities, because if the 13% derivative is sent to the states, and the state is just used to develop the capital, meanwhile the communities have no replica of the minerals that are oils that are being carted away, then that's not good. And that's why this conversation is very important.
The 13% derivation fund has been a subject of controversy between the oil-producing communities and their various state governments, with the state asking the federal government to pay money directly to the state and not to communities.